If you're like me, politics makes you furious. How can half the country vote the way they do? They experience the same events as I do. They live in the same neighborhoods as me. Often we share the same family, and yet every 2 and 4 years they vote against everything I care dearly about. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that I've found a book to cool the temper. A book that takes all the hyperbole and vitriol out of American politics and replaces it with irrefutable data. By crunching the numbers in every presidential race since 1950 and especially the 2012 Obama-Romney slugfest, John Sides and Lynn Vavreck have discovered some dispassionate and bracing truths in their new book, The Gamble. In The Gamble, John Sides and Liv Vavreck tackle the hysteria that surrounds all US elections, and especially the craziness that clouded the 2012 race. They show how both political parties and the news media have a vested interest in creating a fog of war around opinion polls. A close race inspires voters and sells more media, so the very people who we look to for objectivity are incentivized to skew the facts. We were told daily that new fundraising numbers, debate performances, and political gaffes were having an effect on the eventual outcome of the election. But what Sides and Vavreck painstakingly prove out is that there are only two actual influences on US voters: how your parents voted and the gross domestic product.
I like being able to fire people who provide services to me.
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
Politicos, wonks, wet blankets, whatever you want to call John Sides and Lynn Vavreck, there's no disputing that their thorough study of US elections is a welcome bucket of cold water on an absurdly hot topic. The uninformed have had far too much influence on our elections, and objectivity is so very hard to find. Mr. Sides is a polling nerd. He studies how best to take the temperature of a populace. His latest work addresses the Arab Spring, while Ms. Vavreck is an economist by training, and her work focuses on the confluence of politics and the GDP. Together, they make an excellent team. One area where their combined expertise really shines is in the study of how TV advertising influenced, or rather did not influence, the outcome in the contested regions of Ohio and Florida.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
For activists, campaigners, and armchair politicos like myself, The Gamble is a fascinating and informative read. I think the joke goes the Boston Globe is read by people whose ancestors used to run the country, the New York Times is read by people who think they run the country now, and the Wall Street Journal is read by the people who actually do. Well, The Gamble is read by the people who will run the country very, very soon.